Hello, friends.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi.
That was very good. Hey, first off, I have to say I am just humbled and in awe. One of our friends I saw this week said, "Hey, I listen to you guys every week. I talk back to you. I laugh with you, all of
Aw.
that." And I'm just like, oh, yeah, we do a podcast. It's just one of those things we don't go out, saying, "Oh, look what we do,"
No,
kind
not
of
at
a
all.
thing. And so then when somebody comes up and it's like, "Okay, God."
Did
I
you feel pressure when she said that?
No, I think what I actually said, I don't know if you heard me say this, friend, but I maybe just thought it in my head. Yeah, I'm waiting for God to say that we're done.
Aw. Because we're just doing it to follow God, not to put
Make
ourselves out there.
Yeah,
And to
yeah, because
say,
it's varying. Not, I shouldn't say anxiety. I'm not anxious about this. I just don't understand it, I guess.
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I don't think we're worthy. Like, we just had
Right.
our sister discussion before this, catching up with items of the week, but which I'm very thankful for, reflecting back on 2 years ago. This would not
Yeah.
have been us being in the mess of each other's lives.
Right.
And
it's messy right now. I was just thinking that, like, mess is such a good word. Like, each of us have something that is unlike what the other one is going through, and not even be able to fathom, so to speak, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Right.
Like,
Yes.
each
Right.
of us, and it's just getting messy. Yeah. But we're not out there like, oh, we're going to make a podcast to get 1,000 listeners. And like, we're not looking at all that.
Right. We're not even on video, friends,
Yeah.
as you well are aware of.
So this friend.
But yeah, so I was just like humbled, but it also was just like a closeness, like
a camaraderie.
Yes, that's a great word, because I haven't.
I'm dreaming
I
of
don't
using that word in Scrabble one day.
Yeah, just to say she laughs with us, and she probably is talking back to us because she knows the answers to things we've said. Now, what was that again? Yeah. So I think it would be fun to have like a ladies group, like, Teresa's giving me this look like, please don't involve people. It's one thing to be behind the mic, but if you're going to invite people, no, off the cuff, just a little woman's retreat of this
when
and
I
that
hear
trio.
when I hear retreat, I think spa. So if you're saying we should go have a spa day, is that what you heard, Teresa?
Yes.
That's what I
that's
heard.
funny, because that's my friend Tracy at work. We had 2 work retreats this week. They're work things. Like, our whole student affairs group on Monday had a retreat day. Tracy goes, "Retreat to me is a spa day."
Yes.
Neither one of these days were spa days. So,
Yeah.
but one of our things,
False advertising.
one of our things could be a massage therapist coming in and
That's
doing
what I
chair
heard.
massages.
Yeah, which I felt so bad. So just a little side note. So for those
But
of that
we're still recording.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
But for I just think it's a funny. Jared was in the hospital, for some of you might not know that, this past week, and the bed was very uncomfortable. So Jared's like, my back is killing me. I said, I'll massage your back for you. So I'm half sitting on the bed and I'm massaging his back, and Pastor Shane.
What kind of hospital is
This
this?
looks slightly inappropriate, but I promise you we are married. And so anyway, but the real kicker is Jared had no idea who Pastor Shane was. They've never met. So he walks in and I'm like, oh, Shane, hi, how are you? And I'm getting off the bed. And so Shane and I chit chat for a second, and Jared isn't saying anything. And I look down at him and he's just like waiting for an introduction. And I'm like, oh, Jared, this is Pastor Shane from the Nazarene Church. And he's like, okay. Now I'm caught up to speed. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought that was very nice of him.
Well, that was very nice.
It was very.
He's very
Shepherding.
shepherding.
Oh, shepherding. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that was just a little side note. So
Aw.
back to spa days, as you were saying.
Yeah, we could do a little retreat and have chair massages. Okay, Teresa's nixing that. Never mind.
No,
This is part of why you don't talk out loud. Like maybe we should be more rehearsed here with
No,
things.
I like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
Spontaneous, real, raw.
Yeah. Well, I think we've talked, well, I know. So we have talked about not just praying to God, but just being still and letting God speak to us. And then also something that has really helped me is, and I don't do it every day, but, and again, God is creating the best sunsets because I'm not up in time to see the sun rise. But those sunsets, like last night, I was in the car driving home and it was like 8:30 at night and that, the storm had come through and everything. So that sun was so bright, but just coming down and it was just a light blue hue. And the sun, it was almost like the angels were singing light behind me, just driving home. And I was just like, that is a different kind of worship.
Oh, it absolutely is.
And so I'm just in awe and thankful. This is not my thankfulness. Just wait till you hear my thankfulness.
Now that should have been on video.
But I was just like, we talk about faith builders, faith steps in that. It's just like God wrapping his arms around me and saying, it's going to be okay. You're going through a mess, but the rain produces flowers. The rain produces a rainbow. That's his promise. I saw a very light rainbow.
Yeah.
The rainbows this season,
Yeah.
he is outdoing himself.
Yes. Kaylee was leaving right after the storm had come through, a little bit after, and I had gone out. She was getting ready to back up, and I had to make sure Josie had her doll baby, whose name is Linda. And I was like, shout out to you, Mom.
I said, Linda.
I said, do you have Linda? And she's like, yeah. And then Olivia wanted me, and she's like, Nana, there's a rainbow.
Aww.
And I didn't really see it, and I just pretended. But I saw it when I went back in. And Hadley in the back seat, who's one of the twins, who's almost 4, and she goes, Nani, the rainbow means, and she puts her arms spread out, that God's never going to flood the earth again. And she said it twice, and I was like,
solidified.
I was just like,
That's beautiful.
I have
To hear your grandchild repeat one of God's promises is
now, if we
priceless.
lived on a homestead, she could have went to every home and said that, and we would have all been like, great, and had our day made.
right.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
But I think even 6 months ago, I was not as intentional about trying to find God in every little part of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of that is when you're desperate enough and come to the end of yourself, he's there.
Yeah.
And so many times we get caught up in, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and for God, all of these things. And well, I'm going to pray this or I'm going to do this for a friend. And you get caught up and forget that I can't do anything unless it's with God. Like we have to continually remind ourselves of that. So I just thought, oh, how awesome to just wrap your arms around my car. And I thought that was awesome. Very awesome.
Yeah, he shows himself in many different ways.
Well, and I think it's easy to get, this is going wrong, that's going wrong, nothing's going right. I mean, I've been there. I am trying to ask God to help me out of that mentality of this is bad, it's only going to get worse, all of that, all the bad things when you really have to look at the positive. But to sit and just think of all those attributes of, like he's our salvation and he's our savior and our shepherd. And you could go through the alphabet and start with like, he's our abiding joy. He's
Oh,
our,
nice.
he sends angels. That's an
Yeah.
exercise to
Yeah.
do. I just thought of that.
I haven't even got to my bingo card, but yes, that is good.
Yeah. No, now my
There
mind's
are-
going
yeah,
with
yeah,
all of
yeah.
that.
You're like, what comes after J? Yeah,
So
that is good. Yeah, like it has been a mess lately, but there's also so much to be thankful for.
right. And you need to be intentional about looking for that.
Yeah. So my thankful, speaking of being thankful, I'll just throw it in the middle. Have a lot of thankfuls. Okay, I'll throw out 2. So
This is how she rolls.
yeah, and they will all filter around Jared. But so he has to see a specialist, and the hospital made an appointment for him, and the specialist could not get him in until October, and he's a current patient with that specialist.
Yeah, it's
And
ridiculous.
we're
Don't
like,
get me started on healthcare.
On not until October, and I'm like, well, we got to take what we can get, I guess. So we'll take the October appointment, but could you put us on a wait list? And they're like, for cancellations, yep, we can do that. And he goes home, and the next morning there's an email from the specialist saying, I can get you in tomorrow.
Wow.
Now, if that is not a miracle, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
So definitely saw God in that and thought of what you had said, Teresa, about, of course God did.
Yeah,
Of course
of
you did.
course.
Yeah. That's why are we ever surprised? Or, I think so many times how faithful he is and how unfaithful I am, and how there is there's like not even a comparison. That's so vast,
Right.
the difference between my faithfulness and his faithfulness, or I should say my unfaithfulness. And the other one is, so going through that, I was on the phone with my mother-in-law giving her a report from the hospital. And I'm like, I have to go get a real cup of coffee because their coffee just is awful at the hospital. There's no excuse for it. It shouldn't even be called coffee. So I'm like, I'm running in here to get a drink. Well, I saw a lady I have not seen, for decades probably there. And she's like, Trina, how are you doing? And I just like, not collapsed, but like the hug I gave her was just and the hug she gave me back and I have not talked to her for probably 20 years. And so we sat down and while I was waiting for my coffee to be made, just
Did you
had a
do the
little
pour over?
discussing. I did not,
Oh.
but boy, I wanted to, but I didn't have time for that. So we sat down while she was making my coffee, got caught up like ridiculous quick, and I had told her that Jared was in the hospital and I was on my way back there. And she's like, well, I'll just give you another hug before we leave. And I said, God put you here today.
Yes. He orchestrated that. He knew that.
Yeah, I needed that.
Oh.
I needed that sincere
Yes.
touch, even though I haven't not seen her in 20 years,
Right.
I really felt like, thank you, God, so those are my 2 thankfuls, that Jared got in like immediately instead of having to wait for months.
Yeah.
And that I got that hug from,
And that
someone
doesn't
so long
typically
ago.
happen
Yeah.
for specialty offices like that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So there's my thankful right out of the gate.
Wow. That is awesome. Well, in these hard seasons, God is not wasting the hard season. Every struggle, every disappointment, every moment you feel like giving up, he is storing up something greater. And that has propelled me. I did not come up with that. Tracy Miles did. But just that thought of, he's not wasting this time, Tara.
Mm-hmm.
So don't waste it either, Tara.
Yeah.
But just there's something better that he has. Just keep abiding in him instead of trying to take it on myself, because everybody knows Tara is controlling and Tara is the mayor of Wrightville. So this is very hard for Tara.
She's not owning it lately like she has in the past, which is somewhat, unsettling. What do you mean she's not owning it? What does
Like,
like
before it was like, yes,
I am. And now it's like, maybe I'm not supposed to be the mayor of Wrightsville or something. Like, no.
gumption
Yeah,
with it,
yeah, yeah,
gusto.
yeah, yeah.
Well, no, because everyone keeps making fun of me.
Oh, I say it in love.
Oh.
I'm your girl Friday as the mayor.
Oh. Well, I know there are listeners out there. We might not know everything you're going through, but your life may be messy too, trying to take care of aging parents or grandchildren or adult children.
That was Teresa.
Or
Let's
just
not below children. I love you.
losing a job, or as we have prayed often in our sister prayer times, direction.
Yeah.
It's a very unsettled world and chaotic. And I really, really feel the calling that God is calling us to a simpler life, not using microwaves. Oh, he doesn't listen to this, does he? Shoot, that was for Jared. Just a simpler life, because in this chaotic world where everybody's passing you, going literally 70, 80 miles an hour in between, it looks like Frogger.
It does. I've thought that many times.
Yes, it's getting worse. I just don't understand it.
It's like they pay no attention to the
No.
rules.
And you know what someone said today at our retreat? She said, this is what happens when people don't value human life. And Trina, that was my face. I was like, you are right. And we did not get into abortion or euthanasia or anything like that. But that was my first thought, that, how can we say that taking the life of an unborn child is okay? Or you're 80 years old, so now you have to, like they do in Canada now, we are not the judge and jury of human life. So when that is a commonplace in our society and everybody just gets all their information from TikTok, I mean, think about that. 4th grade, I think I said this several months ago on an episode, they surveyed 4th graders, and those 4th graders believed Alexa, the AI, more than their parents.
Yeah, yeah. And I see that.
Yes.
I mean, I do. And parents really, I feel, have more pressure to connect with their children and teach their children. I mean, I think about my grandkids. Obviously, everybody knows I'm a grandma, but I think of my grandkids and how my kids need to be so, and Jared and I as well, and their other grandparents, need to be so intentional on what they are being brought up to believe, or what they are, to separate truth from lies.
Right.
And value of life and value of what God has done for us, and remind them who made that rainbow, like that kind of stuff. Be intentional and put a lot of pressure on ourselves to help them grow into the people God made them to be. Because I feel like when we grew up, it was just, life did just happen. I mean, I feel like we had an idyllic childhood, we lived out in the country, we drank out of the hose, all that those kind of terms. And now it's like the children have an active enemy attacking them on a daily
basis. Yes.
So, or on the daily, whatever.
And you have parents who both work,
right,
who are overloaded with everything. And so this is why generational living is...
I am 100% in agreement with that perspective, because the kids will slip through the cracks in our own home.
Right.
We used to say that about kids in school, that they'll slip through the cracks and they won't learn to read until they're in 8th grade. But that can happen in the home.
Right.
Know?
Ugh, right. Because how many times do we go, I just need to veg out, which I'm really being compelled to Tara, that's not what I'm calling you to do. I'm calling you to live a
I have
life of
felt that some
discipline.
too, because
Yeah,
it's like, I just want to rest my mind.
right.
I've worked so much and I just
I
want to do
deserve
nothing. I
this.
deserve, yeah. and
Yeah.
That is not what
He's calling me to be disciplined with working out. That accountability is so needed. I did exercise the last 2
Monday and
days.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes. But it was very hard.
But you did it.
But yes, but just that disciplined life of we talked about eating and our health
We're not
and
going to talk about eating today.
no,
though,
we're
are
not.
we? Okay. Good.
And
But there's much
and
to
helping
do.
others. There's so much to do.
And I do feel like when we're isolated and we don't get out with other people, it's
Yes.
easier to go into that mode of, I've had a hard day. I just want to be
Right.
by myself and like play a little game, or like on the tablet, which I've been doing a lot this week. Finding a way to bring peace and rest to our minds instead of opening our Bible. Well, for me, instead of opening my Bible, it's like my brain is tired. I don't want to think. I want to veg out, like you were
right.
saying. But
And
if we
4
were in
hours
community
later-
and with other people,
Right.
like for instance, I'm going to go to the extreme and say if we were in the same building.
Yes. I'm there for you.
I might sit in the living room and somebody else come in and then we would start a conversation, and then we would make a plan, and then we would go do something or whatever it is,
Right.
like so-and-so needs a meal. So let's just whip up a quick meal for him and run it
Right.
over or whatever.
Right.
Like something. Just
Right.
something.
Well, they, on one of the Unashamed podcast episodes last week, they were talking about three of the cousins' kids, like all graduated from the same university. So they got together. It was Zach and Jace. Their kids graduated. So they were together, they did a crawfish boil and everything. And one of Zach's kids was talking with Jace. And Jace is like, hasn't your dad talked to you about Acts 17? This is what happened and, Pentecost and all this stuff. And Zach's like, I've talked to him 100 times about that. But you, as a parent, can't always get across to your kids.
That's so true.
They'll listen to it from somebody else. And so whether it's an aunt or a grandma or uncle, whatever, cousin, we need to be speaking into each other's lives. Like, it takes a village. And I used to not like that saying because I'm like, they're my kids.
Right.
Back
right.
off.
I getcha.
This is not your village.
You get
The
to choose your
idiots over
village.
there. That was not very good.
I get it. Village idiot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. That was my, I'm having some issues, so just bear with me. But yes, from a spiritual perspective, I think that is so true. That's why youth leaders can be so valuable, and why sending your kids to youth group and all of that. Like, when I just thought we grew up, we were in the church, we got it. Maybe not as quickly or as what our parents or other people thought we should, but there has always been this relationship. So I just thought that's how it was.
Yeah, same.
And that's not how it is.
Right.
So in that respect, I feel like I failed my kids because I was not as intentional as I should have been. So I think that's, like with Lauren's girls and Kaylee's girls and Copeland at church, she was with her dad and I'm like, hey, it's Lolly, she's just looking at me. But
you're building that
Yes,
rapport, that relationship.
So I'm not just like letting it go. I'm being intentional with, like when I picked Teresa up tonight, Olivia's there. I'm like, Olivia, this and Lolly always has the lipstick. Like everyone else
And
has
she
candy.
did. I have to go say hi to Lolly.
Yeah. So it's just being intentional about, because now I see that difference. It wasn't just
But it took a while.
osmosis.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But you have to just,
Right.
because yes, praying for them is so important, but also being active in their lives and just showing them that
Showing
adults
interest.
show up
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Pastor Shane is very big on discipleship. And he, several months ago, he had asked, when does discipleship begin? Well, it begins when you meet the person.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it can be from we can disciple each other. We disciple our kids, our grandkids.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a stranger.
Yeah.
Well, and so Kay Clymer had passed away, and so you just think back over their life, and it's just what a legacy she has left for her family, but also for those, there was a ripple effect, not just because I was part of that family for a time, but in Christian sistership, just,
Very meek and mild, but yet strong.
yes.
That's the words that come to my mind
And
when I think of
always a
Kay.
smile.
Yeah.
Always. Now, there were a couple times when I was taking piano lessons from her that I saw a different side and thought, wow. But it's just a reflection of keep going on, ladies. And so to the moms out there thinking I can't do one more day with these rugrats in a kind way, keep going for the trophy's not the word. We win the goal. Yes. Persevere. That was the word I was trying to come up with, because so many times when we're in the struggles of life, and we're all at different, struggles, even our listeners, but no matter where you are in that struggle, acknowledge it and give it to God. And so many times we say, why me? Why me? And my response anymore is,
Why not?
why not me? Exactly. Who do I think I am? Jesus went to the cross.
Right.
So why do I think I'm better, that I'm going to go through things, especially if some of it, not all of it, because sin is in the world. So sometimes things happen to us that is out of our control.
Right.
But some of it is of our own doing, not being disciplined and, staying faithful. But when you're in that mess and in that hard time, you can't see that he's writing your story and that it's going to be even better on the other side of that. And you won't be able to see that until you can look back. And that's just how God made us. You can't always go through life and be positive Polly like 100% of the time, because he gave us emotions and feelings and that. And you just have to know how to decipher them and be disciplined with them, and know that it's not always about just what you feel. But when you're on the other side of that hard time, you can look back and say, it's like the footprints in the sand.
That he carried you.
Yes, that he carried you.
Your brokenness is not the end of your story. It is the place where God begins his work. What feels like the end is often where restoration begins. God takes what's broken and makes it beautiful.
Yes. And you can't always see that, because in this life, we don't want to hurt.
Yeah.
We do anything and everything not to feel bad, not to hurt, not to do anything. It's just all about pleasing. And that,
Yeah, I tried to do a cold plunge in the shower.
I know
And you're
somebody who
right,
does
like-
that, and he keeps trying to tell me, this is better for you. This is what you do. And I'm like, no, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's a physical thing, but I'm
Right,
just saying
but
it
still.
goes in every area. I don't want to have this hard conversation because it's going to hurt.
Yes.
It's going to hurt me and possibly this other person, but it needs to happen.
Right.
Or, the physical aspects. I want to have a piece of cake. I know I'm going to gain 5 pounds, but
I want it. I.
Yes. You're
What is
exactly
that?
right.
Is that Nemo? I.
Well, there's a song.
I
don't know. I thought it was an 80s song.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh. No, I hear all these birds. I.
Oh, yes, that is Nemo. The bird
Yeah.
comes down. Yeah, that is Nemo. Wow. This and that. Such an
So when you think about
appropriate name,
going
yes.
through the hard stuff, reading the Psalms right now on the Bible recap, I am appreciating them so much more. And, David went through so much, and yet he's known as a man after God's own heart. But looking at these, God said there was going to be consequences to his actions with Bathsheba and Uriah. And even in all of that, and he knew it and he owned it, he still, when he was running, would ask for God to redeem him and, help him with his enemies. Like, I don't know, there's just something about that relationship of, okay, I messed up and so now I have these consequences, but God, you're still open to me asking you to redeem my soul and to judge the wicked.
Mhm.
Like,
God wasn't done with David after
No.
that sin, but yet in society, somebody sins and we're done with them.
Yeah.
If we would hate our sins as much as we hate someone else's sins, what would that do?
Wow,
That's
well
good.
said.
That's very
I mean,
good.
it's a screenshot, but
It is because you weren't looking at the screen when you said it.
well, that
so-
was easier to remember.
Oh,
Well, and part of this, what I was reading earlier about being in the mess, talking about Joseph too. His dreams came first, and then his testing came second, and then the fulfillment came last. God gave him the dream about telling his brothers that there's
Mhm.
going to be,
they're going to bow down.
yes. And it ended up being was it 7 years of famine, 3 years? It was,
Right.
years of plenty and years of famine. And then, but God restored all of that. So many times we're so focused in on what we don't get and the hard times that we need to open our lenses and ask God to open our eyes to see that he has so much more for us.
And God is never late. We're just impatient.
Right.
Screenshot.
Yeah. But God's
that in
I-
between, I hear what we're saying, but that is so difficult to live out.
It is. Yes.
When you are in the sinking sand and you don't see anybody reaching down a hand, that really is a hard place to be.
Right.
And like, I just don't have the strength anymore. I don't know the words to say. I don't,
But I think
having a hard time putting
sometimes
into
when you
words.
are in that sinking sand and you feel alone and you feel like you're just falling further and further down, I think the devil wants us to believe that's where we're supposed to be. And when we should just, God, I just need you. And that can be enough for that day. Like, we don't have to go above and beyond that. I think it's okay to be like, God, I'm spent. I don't have anything. You are good. You are good at being God. I love you. And just settle in that, but not live in the darkness of
Right.
that.
And even just you're saying the Lord's Prayer, because we learned from studying that that could just be like the baseline. I don't even know where this is. All I remember is somebody couldn't get up, just had no strength. And all they just kept saying was Jesus, and that was enough for the time to get them through.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
the
it's where
Holy
your
Spirit
heart
was-
posture
Yeah.
is. But it's so hard to live, especially when we want to feel good.
Yes, that's
Mhm.
it. Yeah. Well, it's reassuring. It's, but again, it's all about what you're trying to make happen, not what, because if we don't go through those hard times, we don't know the capability of Jesus. We don't
Right.
know what he can do if we're doing it all ourselves. So not that God, I know that's a whole different discussion about, does God make it happen or does God allow it to happen kind of
I got a
thing.
screenshot.
Okay.
Sometimes God allows what he hates to accomplish what he loves.
Say it again for me. Trina's just staring like, what?
Sometimes God allows what he hates to accomplish what he loves. Joni Eareckson Tada.
Because he loves us. And so even though he hates that we have to go through bad times and heartache, he knows what's best for us on the other side. Sometimes I think it's just bringing us down to that spiritual poverty level of,
Yeah.
I need you to need me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well said.
Well, good. Thank you.
I'm
Look,
still
you were
trying to wrap my
encouraging.
head about the
You were
around that.
encouraging to her. Yes. Look at that.
Yeah, see? I was trying to see. I thought you sent us some. Oh, this is what I was thinking when you were talking about Jared getting into the neurologist, what Teresa sent us. I'm going to pray bold prayers so impossible that only God can do it. So when it happens, the people around me know it was God. It was God all along.
Yeah, and that is well said about, him getting that appointment. That definitely was God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Anything else? No?
so many screenshots to choose from, Teresa.
I
Yeah.
know.
Find a funny one.
For another. I'm not sure if I should.
The one with the
Oh, go for it.
The one what?
the one with the monkey looked funny just from the picture. Yeah, Tara can edit out whatever.
Oh, no, that one's not encouraging. That's a work one that's yeah.
Well, this is one. She asked, "Why am I tired all the time, even when I rest?" I answered, "Because not all exhaustion is physical. Some tiredness comes from surviving days you never really processed. Sleep can help your body, but peace is what your soul has been asking for. You are not created to live every day in survival mode." So I think that's where the devil wants us, is in survival mode. And God is calling us to a peace and fulfillment of our soul way more than what the world can give us.
I mean, sometimes I do just we had talked about this that was really good, but we had talked about saying, how do we say Jesus, is it Abba Father? Are we like, let me climb up in my dad's lap, or let me worship my king, or, however you want to look at it. But like sometimes I literally, I wish, I wish I could physically touch,
Yeah.
and just be like, even though I felt that woman's arms around me, but sometimes
Right.
I just want God to wrap his arms around me, like, let me feel secure, let me feel safe, let me feel loved, let me feel, I don't know, at peace or whatever. But it would be so nice just to climb up in his lap,
Yeah.
and
I have pictured that in my mind many times of, I'm just going to crawl up on your lap and I'm just going to sit there.
yeah. I think I spent way too much of my young life sleeping in mom and dad's room.
Yes, you did. Where's Trina? Oh, check mom and dad's bed.
Yes, it was. And when I got too big to sleep in their bed, then I'm
Then she
sorry,
had to
Mom.
sleep with us with those braces on her feet.
Oh, I couldn't help that. My feet are still crooked, but anyway.
We went through all that bruising for nothing.
When I got so big, Mom and Dad would make a bed for me, but on the floor beside their bed.
Word.
Yeah, I
Mother.
was terrified. Thank you, Mom. So
As
I
we're
know
rolling our eyes.
I know it probably annoyed the crap out of them, but it's what I needed. And so
we were getting in trouble for not doing the dishes or breaking a pan. She had eyes in the back of her head. We were growing up.
I think Trina was her scout.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't picture myself that. Anyway, back to my story. I felt safe, when I was in there, just something about being in your dad's presence.
Yeah.
I know not everybody has that. Lots of, like she said in the video, lots of dads are not good dads, but ours was. And I was very thankful for that. He did make me feel safe.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my thankfulness is, dun, 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 dun. Aunt Connie, you're going to love it.
Oh, should I have gone first? Because I'm not. Okay, go ahead.
I am thankful for coffee.
Oh.
Now listen.
Good coffee, right?
Yes, good coffee, not hospital coffee. So on the way to work the other day, I take coffee with me to work, and I was not always, but this particular morning, I had the radio off and was just trying to be still. I mean, I was paying attention, I was driving, but sometimes I will just go through all the attributes and characteristics I can think of God. And I reached down to take a sip of my coffee, and I just went, God, you give us coffee.
And you said that in an admirable way, not using his name in vain.
No, I was talking to
Yeah,
God.
exactly.
You give us coffee. How awesome are you?
Yeah, and if you guys could see her face right now, her face is showing what she's saying. Like she is very happy about coffee.
We don't have, he cares enough about the little things that give us joy that he allows us to enjoy it. It's not, okay, Tara, if you're good 90% of the time, we're going to give you this little cup of coffee. No, he's like, there's hundreds of places you can try coffee, Tara, and I'm in on it. I'm trying them. And I'm just like, you give us coffee. Thank you.
Yeah, I love coffee and I love the joy of coffee. Yeah, but to simplify that the way that you just did, like I love a good cup of coffee, but I've never been that I'm thankful for it. Let me say it that way.
That's okay. I was thankful for it. And so when we had our sister prayer time and I said that was my thankfulness, Teresa didn't get it. And so,
well, there was a reason I didn't get it, because my eyes, when I was writing, remember, you did it as a praise, and my eyes went to the last line, which was a prayer request.
Yes, that's right.
I was thinking you were asking for prayer. Yeah.
I needed a cup of coffee for my prayer time is what she thought. Yeah. I'm like, stop and smell the roses kind of a thing. God gives us coffee.
And we're thankful.
Yeah.
What you got, Teresa?
Oh, I am thankful that we made it safely back. No health issues or road issues from Tim and I took his dad and stepmom to graduations in South Carolina and Virginia. I mean, we were going anyway, but so why not just do that?
God is just calling you to be a caretaker, Teresa.
Thankfully, there were no health issues. And right on the way back, I think we were in Ohio, thankfully, Tim was looking ahead, because after this happened, he goes, that's exactly why you have to look ahead and pay attention, because we were in a construction zone and there was the orange barrel somehow became loose and it was bouncing between the open lanes. And the car in front of us kind of moved over to miss it. And then Tim really had to swerve to miss it. Well, the guy behind us was so close to our bumper that he didn't see it. And I look in the rearview mirror and I see this car just spinning 360.
Ooh.
And then another car trying to miss him. It looked like they made it off safely and off to the side. But yeah, just very thankful, because that's how close that it had come. But we had stayed in an Airbnb in Virginia, and it was the kind of Airbnb, like they had things, because we've talked about doing an Airbnb.
Yes.
And what we would do with those, or, we've been in enough Airbnbs, like this is what they need. The color towels were appropriate. They weren't white. And they had the accommodations. They had individual toothbrushes in 5 different colors in a cup in the bathroom.
Oh,
that's an added touch.
They had shelves of all kinds of coffee mugs you could choose from for
that's
that
my kind of place.
A coffee maker that did individual and full. Then they had teas, ground coffee, like in a container, like all this cutting boards, like
hospitality.
It was hospitality all the way. And it was really, really cool. If you're ever in the Strasburg, Virginia area, look up Nash. Oh, what is it called? It's called Nash. I don't think it's Nash Garage Airbnb, but if you put in Nash Airbnb, it should show up. So it was an old service station that
cool.
it had burned, and what they were able to salvage, they turned into a Airbnb, and they have 2 of the old cars. I guess Nash was type of, I don't know, I'm not going to say it right. Yeah, I'm not going to say it right because I was half paying attention. Cars don't interest me, even though
Tim, put it in the
is all about
comments.
that. Oh, he'll let me know. We said yeah like 42 times in one of the last episodes.
No, I didn't catch that.
So anyway, so Nash, they had 2 old cars. You could sit in there and turn on a certain radio station and look at
That's
the
really
TV.
cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah,
Wow.
and games. They had, so many things that we've talked about would make an awesome Airbnb. They did it. Well, that's my thankful. That was a
That was
long
good.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all good.
Very
Coffee
good.
and an Airbnb. Got it.
Yeah.
See? All good.
Oh, it's my turn. God, we thank you for this time that we're able to share life with each other and our extended friends and family that listen. And may they see you and hear you in spite of ourselves. And that we just ask that you would touch each one of them throughout this week, whenever they're listening, because it's just going to be on your perfect time. And we just love you for that. Thank you for loving us. Amen.
Amen. Go change your corner of the world, friends.